Hey there, what's good, Dan fans? Hey, so today I'm coming at you with a reaction that is going to be live. This one is Dan Vasc's Why I Started YouTube original album mini documentary. So, let me tell you something about this. I know that it's 4 years old. I'm okay with that. I'm 100% okay with reacting to something that's a little bit older. I want to watch it, and I think that it'd be cool to watch it with you guys. I know you guys have shared some of the backstory with me, but yeah. So here we go. Let's dive right into this.
Hey, my friends, I just wanted to start this by honestly saying thank you to you all. Like the reactions to the single we released with my band Fearless last week.
Which I'm planning on starting to react to some more Fearless stuff really soon, because from what I have seen, I believe it was Dawn of the New World that I reacted to, and that one was like, on point when it came to his band in general, and so I'm excited for that one.
The reactions were great, and you seem so excited about this upcoming album, and you've all been so supportive, and I just wanted to say thank you to you all. So a cool thing you probably don't know about this album is that it was actually recorded a long time ago. I think 6 years ago. We started at least in 2013, and I think we ended in 2014 at the end.
Dang, I'm actually 10 years behind.
Of 2014. So this is actually an old album, and this album was the actual reason I started this. This album was the reason I started YouTube, that I started this channel. The story is, we finished the production of the album in 2014. Then I started to search for record deals with record companies to release the album. And for 2 years I searched and I negotiated with multiple companies, and all the contracts were like extremely invasive. They were very unbalanced and not in our favor. There was one record company that even wanted a piece of my YouTube channel. This is true.
What?
And those years were just filled with endless failed negotiations while I was living off my singing lessons to local students, to local music schools, and I was doing also session studio work. And that was before I was...
So the music industry is cutthroat. I will tell you that much. I remember going through music production school, and one of the things that we learned about was, we learned about copyright, but we also learned about exactly what it is that the music industry would do. Sometimes they would write really, really bad contracts. Some of these contracts would be like, we're talking, they would completely take the licensing away from the artist. They'd give the artist approximately, 7% royalty, and then the music industry kept 93% of it. And it's like, okay, the person who created the song, who created the music, should be getting the 93%. But instead, it was the music industry getting the 93%. And that's just sad. It's heartbreaking. And a lot of times, brand new artists, and this is what I discovered as I was doing research when I was in school, is that a lot of newer artists, they were so excited to get the contract that they didn't even bother looking at the terms. And when you don't look at the terms of a contract, you don't really know what you're signing. And you don't know what you're signing, you could actually be signing all of your music rights away. And it's heartbreaking when that happens.
I was serious with YouTube. I had about 3,000 subscribers. I already had a few videos there, but it was just like a creative outlet, just a random hobby. Until something happened. In 2017, my father died of cancer. And I was broke at the time, and I was very sad, of course, because my father had just died.
Yeah.
But what made me the most sad is that my father died without being able to see me succeed, without being able to see his son going away on a path of certainty. And I mean that financially and otherwise.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, you know what? This sucks. This thing of waiting for being discovered. You know, that whole mentality of waiting for good things to happen to you, of maybe some people with the means necessary to find you and make your dreams come true. Like, this is how losers do things. This is not how winners do things. And I didn't want to be a loser. So I decided, you know what? I'm gonna do this myself. I'm gonna build an audience for my band and for this album myself. And then I started uploading in this channel once a week, and I haven't stopped since. That was...
And he did it. And he did it. He is almost at 1 million subscribers. Hey, Derek. He is almost at 1 million subscribers. It is incredible. Seriously incredible. This guy is just incredible.
2 years ago.
And I do have to say, you know, losing someone to cancer is incredibly difficult. I actually just lost my grandma last month, and it was hard because it's like, how do you go from knowing that someone is there to just not knowing someone is there? You know, there's a whole process of grief that you have to go through, and it's real. It's real. I know that he wrote an American trilogy, or not he wrote it, he performed an American trilogy, the Elvis version of it, and I know I reacted to it, and I know that was specifically dedicated for his dad, and it's just, he's got such sentimental vibes, especially in this video when he's talking about this, and I know it's because it's something that deeply matters to him, and all of us, I think, can relate to this at some point. We all have something that deeply matters to us, that when something changes, it affects us. It can either motivate us, or it can break us down, or it could send us down a path of just not really being happy, you know. And then what do? We have to turn it around somehow. You know, I usually say there's a fork in the road, and you have a choice. You can choose to internalize whatever it is and let it destroy you, or you could take what you went through, as bad as it was, and say, hey, this is how I don't want other people to feel. I'm going to do something about this. And in his case, he's sitting here saying, I'm going to do something about this. I am going to help change the world, 1 subscriber at a time. And now he's at almost 1 million subscribers, and he does something incredible with it. Oh, I'm so sorry, Derek. Yeah, it's not easy losing somebody, buddy. Jesus is definitely comforting, I will tell you that. Extremely comforting. All right, let's get back into this.
And now I thought it's the time. We have more than 60,000 people subscribing to this channel. It's a sizable community, and it's an awesome community of wonderful people, supportive people that like me for who I am. And I think it's time to show you what we did, to show you our art. So this is the story of this album and why I started YouTube. And back on those days when we finished the album, we put together a kind of a mini documentary / teaser for the album to send to record labels and press release, that kind of stuff. And as I said, that was before I was doing YouTube seriously. I didn't have a good camera. I only had my cell phone, so it has a little bit of rough cinematography, but I wanted to show you this mini documentary anyway. And please excuse the roughness. I hope you appreciate it for what it is. Just a trip to the past into our minds the way they were back when we produced that album. Enjoy.
So before we get into that, he's talking about the quality of his camera. Well, I'm a firm believer, and my wife says something all the time. And for those of you who don't know my wife, she's also a reactor. You know, she tells me something all the time. She's this incredible phone. She's got this incredible phone that takes these immaculate pictures, and I'm just like, but I have an iPhone, and my iPhone is supposed to take better pictures than your phone, and her phone takes better pictures than my phone, but yet she's grabbed my phone and taken better pictures than me on my own phone. So it's not the phone or the equipment that you have, it's how you use it. And that's one of the things that she has said. He does some incredible work. I honestly, I can see the quality of his work through what he does. Even some of his older stuff, you can tell that he's gotten better skill wise. But like, I mean, quality is quality. It's his voice that we're watching these not movies. Wow, my head is somewhere else today. Obviously, it is his voice that we're listening for whenever we are watching him sing. It is his theatrical experience that whenever we're watching him sing. It is the moods that are evoked whenever we are watching him sing. Even if it's a $500 camera versus a $5,000 camera, even if it's a cell phone video, I will tell you, I actually recorded when I was back when I was in music production school. I actually had recorded a song that I wrote, and I was in an AT&T store because I was working at AT&T at this time, and I took what I learned. I was like, okay, I gotta have my phone speaker, a couple feet away. I'm a couple feet away, and we were in the shape of a triangle. And this triangle allowed me to capture in one shot this song that I was playing from a speaker, and I was rapping on top of it. And will I show it? No, it's got some cuss words in it. It was before I was a pastor. But I will tell you, I still have that song. I still listen to it every once in a while because it makes me think, okay, should I start writing again? And every person I have shown it to has been like, dude, this is really good. And I'm just like, well, I wish I could do something with it. Oh, there's a guy to add. Get him! Get him! Get him! Get him! Okay, I'm done with the video game. All right, let's get back to Dan.
They found it. The legend was true after all.
Chronicles of Ancient Wisdom is a conceptual album. That means the whole album tells a story. Each track is a piece of a bigger puzzle, and I think this is the most amazing way to tell a story with music. It's the most amazing way to reach out to the listener and say, hey, I have a message, you know?
Okay, I just gotta say, I love rock, if it's not evident. This almost kind of sounds like like not really a Celtic, but like Viking march, a Viking march. I'm assuming that this is indeed his band, Fearless, and I'm assuming this is called Royal Guard of the Realm because that's what it says. Royal Guard of the Realm. So it's like that medieval vibe. I even like the font here. Gives kind of that medieval vibe. Look at the O. It looks like a shield. Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna do that. But I do have a funny story about that, Derek. I have a really funny story about that. So, if whenever I go to the mall, they have these little like wig stands, and they have like the hair extension stands, and I'll walk by them and I'll be like, "Hey, you got anything for me?" And usually they start laughing because I have no hair to clip it to. I have no hair to glue it to. So it would literally just be a single strand of hair extension just right here. It's pretty funny though. I did used to perform in drag a long time ago, so I used to have wigs. Long time ago. Used to have wigs and 6-inch heels.
The people that will really enjoy
No. What?
I think
what? No. What? Is this is not Dan. There's no way that this is Dan. There's no way that this is Dan. Please tell me that this is not Dan. He did not shave his head. I don't think it is Dan. I think this looks almost kind of like his drummer, but please tell me this is not Dan.
The people that will really enjoy...
Yeah, that... Davey Vasc. Okay, good. Okay. Whew. Oh my gosh. I saw the V in the I and it looked like an upside down N. Oh my gosh. That freaked me out for a second. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm good. I'm breathing.
This album, I think, is the kind of people that are into really whimsical, fairy tale like music. You know, people that...
God, oh my gosh, I don't know if Dan were to ever shave his head, I think I would probably have a meltdown. So they are twins. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. That's why they look alike. It's like, oh my gosh, this cannot be happening.
That are huge fans of cinema, of, soundtracks, video game music. The sort of people that like to travel in their minds when they're listening to music. This is the kind of people that will really enjoy this album to the fullest.
Desde a primeira música.
All right, so what he was talking about how when we listen to music, we travel through our minds into another realm most of the time. Okay, that's good to know, Sylvia. Thank you. Davey is younger than Dan. That's good to know. Yeah, so most of the time when we listen to music, I know I'm not alone with this, I end up going onto a different planet, especially when it is, something that brings back a lot of memories. I know, like, I just recorded one this morning that I haven't edited, but I'll be releasing it, and that one in particular brought back a lot of, like, nostalgia from when I was a kid, from when I was growing up, and a lot of it is related to, like, musical theater. I was a musical theater buff growing up, and it brings up a lot of, like I was talking about that nostalgia. There's sometimes where I'm listening to my old raps and I'm like, maybe I should like start writing again. I wrote my wife 2 songs and she's wanted me to record them, and I'm just like, haven't gotten around to it yet. But that nostalgia can motivate you to, get back into something that you haven't done in a while. So it's kind of cool. All right, this is Gabe. So
Esse CD, a gente teve a intenção de que ele não fosse apenas um CD de música, mas que ele realmente pudesse alcançar o coração do ouvinte. Eu entendo que a nossa mensagem era trazer uma mensagem.
Yeah, see, there you go. Their music is invoking a certain emotion. And that certain emotion can get you to do something, can get you to say something, can get you to feel something, can bring back nostalgic moments, can bring back some sort of motivation for passions in the past. It can do a lot of things. Oh yeah, oh yeah, I can tell he's a great guitarist.
De esperança, uma mensagem motivacional, né? Que para aquela pessoa que estivesse ouvindo o CD, ela se sentisse motivada, se sentisse encorajada a conquistar.
You know what that reminds me? For someone who wants to inspire someone to be able to conquer, you know, you think about this life and how unforgiving this life it really is. I mean, you wake up, you go to work, you come home, you pay your bills, you take care of your family, and that's the cycle that a lot of people get stuck in. And then next thing you know, 20 years goes by and you're like, eh. And so where is your passion? Like, I mean, I ended up starting this channel because I wanted to have some sort of passion. I wanted to be able to share my thoughts with people. Whether people listen or not, I don't know. But I will tell you that for other people, they do what they do because they want to inspire people. They do what they do because they want to motivate people. And because this life is so unforgiving, folks like this who are creating music in order to get to that person's heart, to empower them to overcome this life that is unforgiving, it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. And that's probably why I like their music so much, honestly.
A nossa mensagem era trazer uma mensagem de esperança, uma mensagem motivacional, né? Que para aquela pessoa que estivesse ouvindo o CD, ela se sentisse motivada, se sentisse encorajada a conquistar seus objetivos, seus sonhos, a sonhar mais, né? Tanto que é um CD muito épico, né? Todos os seus arranjos, estruturas. Houve uma preocupação de a gente fazer arranjos que fossem marcantes, que realmente grudassem assim, na mente do ouvinte, no coração do ouvinte. E os refrões são muito épicos, heróicos e marcam. Justamente nesse sentido, de trazer motivação, de trazer força, alegria, né? De fazer a pessoa sentir vontade de sonhar. É uma coisa que nós precisamos hoje em dia, é sonhar mais.
Yeah, I agree with that. Something we need nowadays is to dream more. We see it everywhere. We see the lack of hope that the world has around us. And you know, I'm not saying everybody, you know, it falls in the same set of beliefs that I do. But I will tell you that for those of who are around you who don't set daily or weekly or monthly or yearly or bi-yearly or whatever the case goals, they don't have these baby steps, they fall into the mundane of just waking up, they're the ones who don't have hope a lot of times. You get hope in the little things that happen. The little things, the little nuggets that you get throughout the day, the little accomplishments. I mean, think about it this way. You wake up, you make a list, go to the DMV. For here in the US, it's called the DMV. Go to work, go to the gym, do this, do that, you know, cook dinner. And every time you get to check something off, you feel a little bit better about yourself. But if you don't ever have that list to reference, or if, you know, you're not able to know that you're accomplishing things, there's something that eventually happens in your mind where you're just like, forget it. Nothing's getting done anyway. Yeah, day by day. You live day by day. You live minute by minute. And sometimes you just need to show yourself that you're able to just conquer even a little bit every day. Get to that bigger goal, that bigger vision of your life. What is a dream that you've had that you haven't been able to accomplish? What is a dream that you have? How are you going to get there? Those baby steps. Every day, take a little baby step towards your dream. Every week, make a weekly goal for yourself. Say, you know what, I'm going to do this for an hour once a week. And if it's something that you want to do every day, then say, okay, I'm going to try it for 20 minutes for 1 week. Then 30 minutes, then 40 minutes, then 50 minutes, then an hour. And then break that hour up. And I do the same thing with my students when I'm teaching music. We get a little bit more difficult on the theory side, So I lower the bar on the playing side. We focus a little more on the playing side. I lower the bar on the theory side. And then it goes like this. Because that's how you grow. You're not going to grow by just telling yourself, I want to be up here, and this is the only place that I'm going to operate. Because you're going to let yourself down. You're going to let yourself down.
My favorite thing about listening to our songs, to Fearless songs.
Elvira, I actually I've seen a comment that you put that, you know, your kids matter to you. Your kids, being there for your kids is a good goal.
Is that we are instantly transported to an epic movie. It's like a Lord of the Rings soundtrack, something like that. We almost can feel the heat of the battle, like we are literally playing a part in an epic battle, in an epic scene, in a Lord of the Rings movie of sorts. So this is my favorite thing about our songs.
I like this one. I like this one. Do you hear the little melody in the back? I like that one. I like that one a lot. That one gives me the feeling that I'm marching into battle. That one gives me that feeling. Let's just listen to that from the beginning. It almost kind of sounds like, you know, for those of you familiar with audio production, it almost sounds like they're using pads to be able to play their melody. I like it. I like the sound of it.
They came pretty prepared, and
okay, this is the recording engineer. Okay, so I didn't realize that this was actually about Fearless. So I know you guys wanted to. Has the video of this? Yeah, he does. You know, I didn't realize that this was actually going to be talking about Fearless. I know you guys wanted me to react to Fearless, so I guess you guys get a live reaction of Fearless. So that's kind of cool.
they came pretty prepared, and at the pre-production level, it was already done. They brought everything here ready. The creativity is like over the top, like above the roof, you know? When we put all this orchestra together, it sounded another stuff. It sounded amazing. It sounded stellar. It was crazy. It was baffling. The guys might remember when I first heard it. It was like, oh, now I get it. Now I get it. I'm really proud of the guys. I'm really proud to be part of this and to see all this process in process. You know, the middle of the creation, the creation aspect of it. It was amazing.
So the really awesome thing, and this is one of those things that I had to learn going through school, is that it's not often that you have, like, I had collaborated with other students on particular projects, and I was going to an online music production school, so we were all over the country, sometimes all over the world. And so between coordinating with time zones, I also had to coordinate, the people, whoever I was working with, recording experience. I had to work with any sort of plugins that they had already put into the DAW. I had to, if they had buses that are already, configured, I didn't really want to mess with those because they had already configured them for the parts that they were working on. And what he's saying basically is they came with their receipts. They came with everything that they needed, with everything figured out. They just needed someone to finish the project. And I'll tell you, sometimes it's really difficult, especially when you're working with other folks. And the whole assignment for collaborating was you have someone who's brand new at recording, who is brand new with music, who recorded something, and now you have to fix it. And that was the kind of the goal of what exactly that assignment was. And it was difficult. It was challenging. And it was because you can take a recording and you can do a bunch of stuff to the recording, but if the original recording wasn't very good, it's really hard to make it better. you can modify it and whatnot, and yeah, AI has come a long way, and AI can do wonders for recordings now, but what he's saying is Dan showed up, Fearless showed up, they were ready. They were ready. They had their tracks already.
Não é um estilo muito assim, né, comum. Esse é um estilo bem diferente assim, é um estilo bem
Yeah, mixing. Yeah. I've found that out through you guys, and then I'm assuming that this guy right here, Oziel Fernandez, was specifically just for Fearless. I'm assuming.
É complexo de trabalhar e não é em qualquer esquina que você acha uma banda que toca a pegada que os caras tocam. Então, e muitos canais, né? Muito orquestra, corais, percussão, muitas guitarras. Então é um som bem complexo de mixar. Então esse foi o maior desafio de juntar todos esses tracks. Teve músicas de...
Yeah, he's not wrong. Those kinds of bigger projects end up coming out sounding really muddy. You can't hear clear instruments. So if I'm doing something that's like mixing, I'm typically listening for each independent instrument. If I can hear each independent instrument clearly, I know it's fine. And that's with everything else playing. So you adjust the levels, and then you go back through, you adjust the levels again, and then when you go to originally mix it, you actually do it multiple different ways. You take all the faders down, and then you turn the faders up of the most important parts that you want to stand out in your piece of music. And it ends up changing the game.
110 canais, juntar todos esses tracks e fazer com que isso soe mais...
Yeah, 110 channels, dude. This guy had his work cut out for him.
nítido possível, né? Falando ali, mantendo a dinâmica das orquestras, dinâmica enfim, de tudo, que é uma música muito dinâmica e tal. Então, são músicas bem cinematográficas mesmo, né?
I remember the first time I listened to the Fearless project, I became like really impressed with the album by that time. So after a couple of months, Daniel contacted me, and he told me he wanted me to master the album. It was an honor for me to do that, because it's...
I believe that is Pro Tools. I could be wrong, but that looks like Pro Tools.
It's a very impressive album, actually. I think first of all, what makes Fearless different from the other bands is the quality itself. It's like the performance. Daniel's vocals are awesome, and but I think for this album in particular, I think the story itself, the way the story is told, the way the songs are connected, the different sections, you know, the different elements. So that kind of thing makes like some, you know, some fresh sounds. It brings us like some kind of freshness to the album and to the songs, you know. So I think when you listen to an album, when you listen to a band, you need to listen to some fresh elements. You need to refer to a specific vocal, to, you know, like to specific grooves. I think all of that together makes a good band, makes a good album, and makes a good work.
To slay the dragon and save our doomed souls, heaven has sent a hero. His brave deeds will change.
Oh, we are in medieval times, yo. Oh, buddy.
This world and the other forever.
I think having David McAllister's participation was like the cherry on top of the cake, you know. All the narrations, and he actually sang a song with me. He does a character very important to the story. He's one of the main characters, and it was awesome. It was actually more than I ever expected, because sometimes we can think, oh, so and so is an actor, he won't be able to maybe sing very well along with a real singer. But actually on the track that he sang with me, he actually made me look bad. I think he did such an amazing job.
David McAllister was, I think, the special ingredient, if I can say like that. The storytelling, the narrations, it all comes to life, you know, in his voice. I think his participation was really important.
Him and I look alike. We even have the widow's peak.
It's one of those small things that makes all the difference in the end product. What I liked the most about his participation was just his character, you know, his power, the power that he puts into the.
Derek said, "Brother from another mother." I'm Margie.
The character, he just brought the character.
Don't spend another dime on Amazon until you watch this first.
Watch this. I can show you how to get this
to life.
Good.
Unfortunately, he passed away before seeing the complete work. So we see as kind of a tribute to him, to honor his memory, to do this right, you know, to finish the work, to finish what he started, and to make him proud wherever he is. And we hope to honor his memory by this release.
Greetings, Son of Man.
Who are you?
I am the guardian spirit of understanding, watcher of this sacred place, and keeper of the greatest power. I am destiny. What do you seek?
I stare into the eyes of death to come here. The urge of my quest is heavier than fear. Clouded by a myth, a hope became bright to rid my own kind from the grim claws of night.
So young and yet so brave, your dear ones you're able to save. Faith and honor I see brought you here. Speak to me.
Na hora que eu coloquei os canais aqui para começar a mixar, joguei a música para dentro do meu sistema, eu praticamente não editei. O baterista em BPM 188 e 300 mil notas lá em compasso.
The drummer in 188 beats per minute. That's pretty fast. Not quite as fast as I've seen some of them, but yeah, good stuff.
E eu não precisei de...
By the way, really quick, guys, just want to say, introduce a member of my family. I don't know if you guys remember him. He's Diamond. He's been chilling in my office with me, and yeah, he's such a good boy. He's just been laying down the entire time. He's been laying down since 5 o'clock for about 4 hours now. So after this, I'll probably take him outside, take him for a little walk.
Editar a bateria do cara, então tipo, é loucura isso.
Giovanni's actual precision, you know, like the man is a clock. I didn't have to edit anything.
The man is a clock. That is the best compliment to ever give a drummer. That is the best compliment ever. Get the shovel. What's the shovel for?
Or do anything to improve his drumming or his performance or anything. It was just there. It was just ready, you know? I didn't have any extra work to do.
This album required of me a lot of speed and precision, mostly, because of course it's power metal, so it's very fast, and if you're fast and not precise, things can get a little bit loose. So it required a lot of precision, a lot of study. So the approach this album required of me was that I become a more cautious drummer, a more careful drummer, in order to perform things clearly. Because drumming for me is like a language, so if you do not have a clear vocabulary, you cannot try to say things very fast. You have to be very cautious about what you're going to say. Drumming for me is this, so this is the approach I had to have in this album. I had to be very careful about the amount of notes I was putting in the fills or the grooves or everything, and how and where they were placed, in order to make everything that I wanted to transmit clear enough for the listener.
So, okay, so what he's talking about, you know, if you've ever recorded somebody playing drums with your cell phone, it comes across as being super mushy, and it kind of all combines together. What he's talking about is he's talking about playing in a way that it's super clear what he's playing, and it's hard to do that when you're playing fast. So I little known thing here. Ouch. I just hit my funny bone. That was not very funny. Ow. Okay, so little known fact, I am actually a drummer. I play almost weekly. Almost. But I do actually teach drums as well. I teach from 4 years old all the way up to adults, and I teach beginning piano from 4 years old all the way up to adults. I've taught actually a 2-year-old how to play a C major scale by just being like, hey, follow me! And then I played something, and then they played something, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. 2 years old. 18 months, I remember I had showed a 5-year-old how to do what I like to call the awesome drummer beat, and I did the Awesome Drummer beat with them. And then an 18-month-old who was his brother took the sticks and actually repeated exactly what his brother had played, and I had only showed his brother once. And I was just like, you need to get this 18-year-old kid a set of drumsticks, or 18-month-old kid a set of drumsticks. It was really cool.
Reinforce the gates and walls high to the sky. How can we make the band go inside? Orders are too much around the giant walls. For 7 days nothing but simply walls. Looking for others who let you trust the mighty Lord of
música favorita é a Till My Death. Eu amo tocar violão, amo arranjos bem feitos, né, de um violão, e essa música é das poucas no CD que você vê violões tão presentes como na introdução da Till My Death.
So there he's talking about an acoustic guitar.
Eu fiquei muito feliz de poder gravar e de poder executar arranjos de violão, né, e de ter partes exclusivas, né, onde se tem arranjos bem presentes de violão folk, uma mistura clássica, né, com folk.
I like that. This band is so good at what they do. I love it. I love it. I mean, Dan's already like talented as it is, but dang.
Surrounded by darkness, this letter I write. The city's in ashes, the dead fill the streets. Don't know where to send this. Are you even alive? When they took you, I should have let them capture me too, so I could be with you. Oh my love, how I wish I could hold you tonight. I can do nothing.
We had lots of laughs. It was a pretty great environment for recording, and it was not stressful at all. It was pretty much fun. I've never had so much fun recording before, you know, like laying down tracks after tracks. We laughed a lot, we like told jokes. The air was light, you know, it was not heavy. It was like we passed 6-10 hours just fine, just laughing, just feeling good about what was being made. We knew that it was gonna be cool. We knew it was gonna be great.
Primeiramente, a banda é uma família. Isso foi o que mais me chamou a atenção, porque conheço muitos caras aí que fazem som juntos e tal, mas não tem o feeling, não tem essa coisa, essa vibe de escutar.
I will definitely agree with that. I do need to hear the whole song. And I second Derek's comment, Elvira. I'm glad you're here too. Just saying.
E viciar mesmo o som dos caras, porque você sente mesmo a parceria dos caras, os caras são uma família. Então eu tive a oportunidade de conhecer cada um, os caras realmente, eles são, antes de pegar no seu instrumento, antes de fazer um som junto, eles são amigos. Então isso é uma coisa que tem que se destacar. E são músicos de primeira, os caras são muito bons, são músicos profissionais, então por isso que deu o resultado que deu, né? Não foi só a parte da mixagem, mas é o contexto. Desde a captação, desde da performance, até chegar na mixagem e na masterização. Então essa é a impressão que os caras me passam, sabe? Eles são amigos, por isso eles tiram o som que tiram, e são profissionais. Os caras treinam, os caras desenvolvem, os caras correm atrás, aprimorando cada vez mais ali as suas técnicas, seus conhecimentos, estudando. Então é isso que eu falaria dos caras. São parceiros, são amigos, são músicos excelentes. Várias histórias legais eles contando aqui, as palhaçadas, as encarnações,
You know, the cool thing about that I'm noticing about a lot of these, you know, more metal folks, the Fearless Band, Dan Vasc, Tommy Johansson, they all have really good sense of humors. They're all funny. They all have some sort of stories, jokes. You can just see it. I mean, look at Tommy Johansson's video, the Country Road, Take Me Home. I mean, he's playing a banjo with a little cowboy hat on that looks like it came from out of Toy Story. Like, it's so funny. It's awesome. Oh, wait, no, that was I think I'm mixing two of his videos, but either way, they were both really funny.
It's actually pretty hard to see like a band with very young musicians, a band born in a small city in Brazil, and actually the metal scene is not our culture here in Brazil. So I think it was a pretty good thing to listen to the album after all those months. It was a very good experience for me to listen to the finished product they got.
I was watching I was reacting to one of Dan's videos, and he was saying something along the lines of, you know, that people in Brazil were getting mad because he wasn't singing music that was for Brazilians. It was the last live I did, actually. It was responding to comments, and he had mentioned something about, you know, how people in his own country were like getting mad at him because he wasn't singing for Brazil. I'm assuming that he's not wrong when he says that, you know, metal is not exactly Brazil's national music or what people listen to typically in Brazil. But I mean, it's like that everywhere. You could find diversity in music everywhere. It doesn't necessarily have to fit the definition of what your borders say you have to listen to. You know what I mean? Yeah, I saw that too. I haven't actually responded to that one, or yeah. I've seen a bunch of comments that say that, you know, they people have gotten mad because he sung the Star Spangled Banner or the national anthem here, and yeah, that's another reaction video.
After a long time working with that.
The first time I heard the finished product, I literally cried my eyes out. Because it was so emotional to listen to everything that we produced. It took a long time, it took a lot of work, it took a lot of investment, time-wise and money-wise, and a lot of studying too, in order to make everything as perfect as we could make. So
Yeah, I'm gonna respond to a couple comments really quick. Margie, yeah, the cultural thing, it's one of those. I mean, that's what he was sharing on the last video that I reacted to live. He was sharing that people were getting upset with him because of, singing this way, and not singing in reference to, appeasing who lives around him, Brazilians. But the same thing could be said for like Americans. I mean, I'm reacting to a Brazilian singer. I buy a lot of things that come from China, and people around me in America may not like that, but that's the thing is it's my choice to do what I want to do. Like if I want to listen to and support an artist that's not in the States, which most of the artists that I'm reacting to are not in the States. And you know why? Because they're good. Because they're effective. Because they're really, really good. And that goes against everything that America thinks. Or America thinks, right? And so, like, as for me, I don't think that the borders should be stopping something from being a thing, personally. I think that borders complicate things. Just like how people say that, you can't have a certain service because you don't speak a certain language. No, there's translators. You can get a translator on the phone. That person is still a human being. They still need something. And if you can't provide it, we're going to find someone who can. That's what I mean. And then for Sylvia's comment, he sings English to reach the most people all overall. Yeah, I agree. I mean, if you look at most countries out there, a lot of countries, they do speak English. And I've also talked about this on the last video too, about, and it goes back into the cultural thing. Personally, I don't have an issue with people who don't speak English. I think that I'm going to find someone who's going to be able to translate. There's so many services out there. We live in 2024. There are services out there to where I can either call or I can use Google Translate or whatever the case. There's no excuse. There's absolutely no excuse for saying, hey, that person doesn't get to have the same opportunities that I do because I can't understand them. No, that's super arrogant. Go help them. You can figure it out. You have one of these, you have a phone, you can figure it out. You use Google Translate. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. And the other thing about that, Derek, is is if you look at, the Tower of Babel, when God confused the languages and he spread, people all over the planet, all over the world. Yeah, we're all humans with feelings. We all bleed the same. There's not a single person that when you're poked and you're prodded bleeds yellow blood. Like, that just doesn't happen. We all bleed red. We all require oxygen. We all have the same heart functions that keep us alive. It doesn't matter what language you speak. It seriously does not matter. Use Google Translate. There's no excuse.
In order to make everything as perfect as we could make. So my reaction was like having goosebumps all over my body and cry. I cried. I literally cried like twice or three times listening to the album. Like each song that played, I would literally cry a bit more. I felt completion.
I feel completion whenever I listen to Dan's music. Just saying, whether it's in English or Spanish or Portuguese or whatever the case. Yep, I agree with that, Derek.
These are the visions of Andrew in the centuries after mankind's exile. And the last moments of my slumber.
Fearless. Fearless. That's cool. Yeah, so this again, I know that this movie or this documentary is like, 3 or 4 years old, 4 or 5 years old. That's okay. But it's my first time watching it. I'm late to the party. That's okay. And thank you guys for joining with me. So here's what I need you guys to do. Here's what I need you guys to do. If you guys have not hit that subscribe button, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But also, go ahead and comment in the regular comment section of this video if you guys think I should keep doing these lives for Dan Vasc. Because then, and give me the links to some other like podcasts and stuff that you guys think I should do these lives to. Eventually, what's going to happen is I'm going to run out of Dan Vasc songs to do. Because I'm doing a lot of them. Eventually, I'm going to hit that 200 to 300, song thing that he's already got. I've got a log of all the songs that I've already done of him. And so if you guys have any podcasts or anything like that that you guys want me to react to, go ahead and put them in the actual comment section instead of this, instead of the chat section, because then I can actually save the comment. Yeah. With that being said, guys, I will see you guys on the next video. I love you guys. Stay the same. Stay you. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys. And thank you for the interaction. I enjoy it. Have a good one.